quickly share.
Yep.
Okay, you should be able to do it. All right, everyone. All right, please welcome Ryan.
A xylophone. This is what we're going to be going over. We're going to have our introduction, goal. Or small servers, so like mine. A few friends. It's not presenting the right, it's not on the right slide. There it goes. That was slow. Enter that. We'll be able to play Minecraft, and then I would appreciate it. So some of my goals for this were to be able to have different types of servers. So like Minecraft, modded Minecraft, Terraria. I wanted it to be straightforward so people who weren't too tech savvy could figure it out and it didn't have to be too complicated. I wanted it to be able to manage the servers themselves. So like delete, creating, resource management to see how much it was using on your computer. And I wanted it to persist. So my tech stack here includes HTML, CSS for front end with the help of Spring Boot and Timeleaf to give all that bit of power and mixture into Java for my backend. I use MongoDB for user functionality because you can log in, create accounts, and to make sure to do anything, you have to be logged in. I used Kubernetes to manage my servers with them being hosted in Docker through Kind, Kubernetes in Docker. The tools that I used are IntelliJ as my IDE, K9s, which visualizes everything in Kubernetes clusters, which makes things super easy. And then I promise this is the real name. The N there is the non-sucking service manager, which turns it into a service on my computer. I name it, that's how it is. Oh, and MongoDB for users to store them in a database so that if someone opened the port to the website itself, they could log in from virtually anywhere. And now it's into the demo. Okay. So, come on. Okay. So this is my homepage for the website. It's simply just has its name, how to get started. Just go to the servers tab, put in the information for the server you want, and then name it. And there's a list of port numbers that you choose from. We have a profile page in case you want to update anything, and a logout button for when you are done. So as you can see here, I have 2 servers running already, eating all of my memory on my computer. We have a simple Cobblemon server, thanks to support from Modrin. We are able to use the little bit at the end of their mod packs, and you feed that into the options here, and it will grab the server pack of that mod pack. So it will then download it, run it. We have normal Minecraft here with the name, type of it is, so modded Minecraft, normal Minecraft, IP connections. We have the local host in case you want to join. And then we have the one for over LAN, which is that part right there, how much memory it's using, the amount of cores it's using, and a very oddly placed delete button because I made everything super large so it would be easy to see on the screen. So as a little test here, I can show you guys, we have 4 port numbers remaining because I'm using the other 2. Thank you. And then we have our types of servers here. We'll select Terraria there, give it 2 GB of memory. And if we hit submit, there you go. It will then populate another text box thanks to Timeleaf doing a wonderful thing, making it super easy for me, just adding more stuff as I create them. So This is K9, which allows me to look into all the things that I've created in Kubernetes. There's a bunch of things that I create that are making it work better, but the only important thing that I have to talk about are the deployments and the containers in them. So as you can see here, this is the Terraria one. We'll go over that one in a second, but this is the normal Minecraft one that I've had running. So if I hit enter again, I can get the logs and see that, hey, we have people playing. Thank you, my test subjects. I appreciate it. So I can go in and get the logs of all the servers. I can see that the modded Minecraft one is running, but there is no one on it. And I can go to the Terraria one, which should see that it is starting up still. So this one. Another window a second to show that I can connect. I just didn't want to start the game with lag on my stuff. So the bad, Kubernetes in Docker. It is a wonderful thing that uses Kubernetes in Docker. I didn't have too much work. I was somewhat familiar with Docker and for my friends. So I think if I had a problem, I'd go and ask them. The only issue was Docker desktop liked to reset all my settings, and Docker or kind of was not the default. So every time I'd restart a laptop, my entire project would be wrecked. Spring Boot and Mongo had a nice dependency injection issue, which I fixed by just coding my DAO. Not preferable, but did work. The CSS on this project is not my strong suit, as you can tell, but I did manage to get it done working and looking somewhat decent. I did have an idea to have a in-browser file manager for the servers, but unfortunately Kubernetes hides all of the server files, so I couldn't actually access them on my system. I tried looking through files that they locked. Static set ports. Unfortunately, that is one of the things that kind of does, so I can't really change that. And most documentation for the client library to get it, the Kubernetes client working in Java is either really bad or the most recent YouTube video I found was 3 years ago and in Russian. Very useful. So the good, once MongoDB was actually working with my dependency injection, I didn't have to do much work for creating users, updating, or deleting. It just worked, and it was nice, and I didn't have to put much time into it. The HTML and time leaf made my front-end pages work really smoothly. They were easy to use in the back end, and it made it so much easier for me to pass objects around into my front end and get stuff back out into my back end. The Docker image that I used for the container for Minecraft was probably the best thing I've ever seen in my life. It came natively with support to changing all the server properties, giving it modded Minecraft, changing like literally everything on it. And it was super well documented. That was probably the best part of this whole project because it made it so much easier than the Terraria one. That's about it. And then getting the deployments to work was really nice because all I really had to do is change my code around because I was just trying to understand it at first. I didn't know what deployments were. And I'm like, I'll just do a simple one that doesn't persist. And then I found deployments, and all I did was change maybe 4 things and it worked. It was great. What I learned, I like Kubernetes, the server, the cloud management, and the DevOps side of things were probably my favorite part of this project. Getting it to work was really fun. It was a really enjoyable process, and it left a good feeling to get it working and see the progress in that. Developing this project over these last 10 weeks was probably the most enjoyable thing that I've done here at Newmont, and it was really fun. It's not always user error, and researching is always good for your health. Some user feedback I received was to do some advanced edits features. So like more server properties, they have like a mile-long list, more server support for different games, and then more control over them for like files and the logs. In conclusion, this was a fun project. I really enjoyed it, and I think I found my passion for coding and what I would like to learn more of. And what I would like to do in the future is not actually continue this. I'd redo the entire thing from the ground up. It is so bad in the way it is right now. Any questions? Cool.
The Kubernetes favorite part of working on this project.
Yeah.
Do you think that Kubernetes would be a valuable technology to integrate into the S curriculum here?
I don't know much about the SE curriculum because I'm a CS student myself. I don't know what classes are currently a part of that, but I think it is really nice. I do have some friends in distributed systems where they work with Docker, I think it was Compose. But I think Kubernetes would be a good thing to learn or teach here at Newmont because it is a really good tool. It is a really nice tool, and K9s makes it really easy to show students what is going on inside of it. Christian?
I'm doing work on GM to deploy this anywhere else.
What do you mean?
Uh,
Right.
Do you have capability to put it under
I could get because I did export project into R, so theoretically you could just run it into Docker or anything else. I could just drop you the jar file, as long as it has Kubernetes set up and all that, blah, blah, blah.